Hello everybody and welcome to the Mystic Sisters. I'm Gabby and today I'm going to be showing you the new Beetlejuice deck that just came out last week. It's a first look, so I have opened the box but I have not gone through the deck, so you're going to be seeing it for the first time with me. All right, let's get started. Here we go. The box, as you can see, is really gorgeously decorated with artwork from the original Beetlejuice movie. So you've got Beetlejuice himself, you've got the sandworm, and then you've got Lydia over here. And then you can see the cute little pink ribbon peeking out. And it is really sturdy. It is really thick cardboard. This is not a cheap box by any means. I really like it. And you can see that the sandworm goes around the side here, which is a really fun detail. And it has credits to the author. So it says written by Casey Gilly and illustrated by Abigail Larson. And then on the back, you've got a really fun description. And then you can also see some of the card artwork on the back as well. And then on this side, it shows you obviously the deck, the name of the deck, sorry, and just tarot deck and guide and the official tarot deck based on the film. And then on the bottom, it says One Insight Editions. And then the sandworm also goes through the top. So I like that they've carried that motif through the box. So let's open up the box really quick. And you can see that the inside of the box is this green stripe, which is super cute. And I like that it's like horizontal here and vertical right here. And then on the inside of the top cover, you can see that we've got this really cute kind of bat skull spider situation going on. I'm looking at that right now. It's really cute. It's a little darker green in person than it's showing on camera. I actually like how kind of bright and limey, kind of fluorescent it's looking on camera, but in person it is a darker green. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at it. So again, the box is nice cardboard. I like it. All right. I'm not going to do the guidebook yet, but I will show it to you. It does come with a guidebook, and I know I need to mention that because I found out from my sister, who you will meet soon, that people are really particular about the guidebook. So this is the guidebook. It does exist, but we are going to get to that after the deck. So when you look at the inside of the bottom of the box, you've got the bat, skull, spider motif kind of going around here as well, around the edges of it, and then the deck also is decorated. The back of each of the cards has the skulls and the spider and this like little Baroque kind of detail here. And these, they're not pearls, but my brain says pearls, so I'm gonna let my mouth say pearls too. So these pearls that go around the edges of it. And then again, that green ribbon I told you about. I know the ribbons are standard for the deck. I don't know why, it just tickles me that it's this like bright green color. And this is very bright in person, so it is brighter than the insides of the box. All right, so the cards have a really nice thick cardstock. So I'm not going to try and bend it super hard. So you can see it's a little bendy. It's not inflexible like some decks are, but it's not flimsy by any stretch of the imagination. So it's nice thick cardstock. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go through and show you the cards. I'm going to start with the major arcana, and so you can kind of see the art quality that's on them. And if you're a fan of the original movie, which I assume you are, and that's why you're watching this video, it's really kind of cool to see the artwork. And so if you see the Fool card, it starts out with the married couple whose name is escaping me now, but you know who they are. It starts off with them at his gravestone, Beetlejuice's gravestone. And that's actually a really cute way to start because obviously, you know, they're starting on their journey. So even though the movie's journey starts earlier, this is where it starts to get like really spooky, if you recall from the movie. So I think that's a really good choice for the Fool card. Fool card. I'm having trouble pronouncing that. All right, and then the Magician, and you can see it's the friend Otto. And I think that that is really fitting because he doesn't have the best motives in the movie, if you remember, and he steals the handbook for the recently deceased and summons the married couple, and it's kind of not good. So I think he's a perfect choice for the Magician card, and you can see him here taking notes from the book with his little old-fashioned wine glass and the wine decanter. So again, he is a great choice for the Magician. And then for the High Priestess card, we actually have the handbook for the recently deceased itself, which I love. I have to admit, I bought a handbook for the recently deceased book on Amazon a few years ago, and apparently it was just a journal. It had nothing in it, so it's like super cute on the outside, but someone needs to write this book. Can I write it? Is that allowed? I don't know, but someone needs to write this book because I am such a huge fan of the show, of the movie and the concept. All right, so I like it, and it has the kind of faded color scheme that the movie had, so it's really true to the movie. From a card perspective, I do have to admit I would want this to be the outside to be a little bit punchier, since the book has that kind of faded look, but in person they're both a little more vivid than they're showing up on camera, so they're not as faded in person as it's showing up on camera, just a heads up. All right, and then the Empress, do you want to guess who the Empress is? Okay, I love her. So she is actually their caseworker from the movie. So if you remember, like when they finally get to meet their caseworker, it's her, and she's all cranky and she smokes, and the smoke is coming out from the slit in her throat. I hope I'm allowed to say that. Anyway, I think she's a fun character. I don't think the artwork actually does her face justice on this one. I do have to admit. I mean, you can tell it's her, but it's not super true to the actress, the character, but the clothing, the hair, everything is super good. And this bright green wall behind her, that's amazing. Like, that's a really good touch. So I do like the artwork. I just wish that the face and the hair were just a little bit more true to what she looked like in the movie. I'm a Virgo, so the details matter for a Virgo. All right, so number 4, the Emperor. And this is Lydia's father, Mr. Dietz. And I think you guys know they didn't bring this character back in the sequel because apparently the actor turned out to be a terrible person. So in the sequel, I don't think this is a spoiler, but close your ears, they kill him off screen before the movie starts, which is really, everybody's saying it's really fitting because the actor was not a very good man. So anyway, he's the Emperor, and I guess that's fitting. We'll just leave it at that. I don't know. Is it fitting? Like, in the first movie, he doesn't have that much authority, so, you know, I think it's an imperfect match, but I get what they're going for, so I kind of like it. And then the Hierophant is one of the little kind of zombie dudes. He's not one of the shrunken-headed guys, but he's one of the zombie dudes that comes through. I really like the effect of the door, because if you remember, they've got the door to kind of the other world, the spirit realm. Anyway, this one, I don't know that it's worth spending that much time on, but it's cute. Again, I like the artwork. You get it. It's definitely a vibe. So I like this card as well. And then for the Lovers, this is actually hilarious. I'm enjoying the humor. There's some humor in this deck, and I'm really enjoying that it's the married couple when they're making the faces and trying to be scary. I just think that's so funny for the Lovers card because I would not have picked that. So it's just an unexpected choice, and I enjoy unexpected choices sometimes. So I think it's super, super cute. And again, the clothing is very, very accurate. Like, you can really see that the clothing is exactly what they were wearing in the movie. So I just, again, enjoy those little details. Obviously, I'm just going to be, you know, accurate because I'm a Virgo. Alec Baldwin in the movie was a little slimmer than this. He was just a little more trim than that. So I'm just going to point that out. Not a problem, but I did notice it as soon as I looked at the card. All right, and then for the Chariot, it is when they're in their car together. Faces, not good. Maybe there was something where when they made the deck, they were not allowed to be too true to the actor slash character, so maybe that's why these aren't very accurate. But for the Chariot, I love it, especially since you know what happens in the movie, and they get in the car accident and drive off the bridge, and that's how they expire. So, fun. All right, the next card, as you know, is Strength, and it is one of the sculptures from the stepmother, Mrs. Dietz. I don't know if I remember her name. I probably should have looked those up before starting the video. I am notoriously terrible with names, so it's very on brand for me. But it's one of her sculptures, and it's depicting the Strength cards, and I think this is the one that has some mishaps in the movie. I think it like slams through on the crane at one point when they're moving it, and then I think it also traps one of the house guests during one of the Beetlejuice scenes. So I think it's fun that the sculpture got its own card because it definitely has its own moments in the movie as well. All right, and then the next one is the Hermit. And it's the shrunken headed guy that they meet when they're in the waiting room in the spirit realm. So it's really funny. So he's obviously supposed to be an explorer who went to a place he shouldn't have and died with his head being shrunken, and now he's in the afterlife. So this is a hilarious card. I don't know if I feel the tie to the character in the Hermit card, but again, you're making the best choices when you make some of these decks, and it's a decent enough choice. All right, the next one is the Wheel of Fortune, of course, and again, I'm looking at it for the first time. This is my thinking face as I'm processing it. It's Beetlejuice with the carousel on his head, you know, in kind of the funhouse scene that he does, or the circusy kind of theme. So I really like that there's, you know, a few key references in the movie to kind of a circus situation, which is really apt because he is definitely bringing the circus. So the Wheel of Fortune, okay, you know what I mean? Like maybe he experiences the Wheel of Fortune a lot because his fortunes are always up and down. So maybe this is a good choice for that card. Not necessarily one I would have picked out for myself, but I like it. I don't dislike it. All right, and the next card, of course, is Justice. And this is the scene where the shrimp cocktail attacks the guest and the shrimps come together like a hand and smush up her face. I don't know why I was doing the hand motion. You can see the card and it's on there. So this is the Justice card, and you know, kind of fitting. The guests are kind of snobby and annoying. So I guess Justice. All right, the next one is the Hanged Man. And I don't know that I know who that is. So if any of you know which character this is from the movie, please say something. It is just not ringing a bell for me. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't know how I feel about this one, but again, if some of you know who this is, please tell me, because, you know, I'm not really getting it. All right, the next one we have is Death. And it chose this guy, a choice. I don't remember his name or even if he has a name in the movie. So I like it because it's spooky and intimidating, but I don't know that the character in the movie brings about the kind of transformation and change that you expect from the Death card. So I think that they just went with a spooky choice and not like an accurate one, which is fine. Again, you know, you're tying the characters to the cards and it's not going to be a perfect match, you know? So I like the card. I just, as a tie-in, I'm like, I don't know about that. All right, Temperance is when we've got the wife of the husband and wife at the beginning of the movie, and she's doing the wallpaper. Temperance. I'm really struggling with this one because it looks like she's putting wallpaper up, and I don't know that we see her decorating the house in the beginning before they die, or is this her being frustrated about the renovation and she wants to put it back? I don't know. If any of you know, so if any of you are watching this and you're like, Gabby, that's really obvious, girl, please tell me, because it is just not clicking for me. But I know who it is, even though I don't know her name, and I know that's their wallpaper, and the wallpaper's not on the wall. Okay. All right, and then the next card is really fun for me. So it's the Devil card, which is often one of my favorite cards in any deck, which you will find out the more we do this. And so here it is Dante's Inferno room, again, with a little bit of that kind of funhouse circusy theme where you're going through the tunnel. And I think this showed up in the little model town. I love this one. I think this might be one of my favorite cards so far because of, I would say, the accuracy and the tie-in between the film and the card and just how fun it is. It's a fun vibe, and you're really getting that kind of both, you know, that Inferno theme, but also a little bit of temptation. Like you kind of want to go through there and see what happens, you know? So I think the temptation's kind of coming through as well. All right, the next one is the Tower. Okay, this is good. This is good. So from a thematic perspective, the bridge is their tower moment, obviously. So I'm very happy that they included the bridge. For those of you who are like, what bridge? You know the bridge. And yes, it's a covered bridge, and this is where it all begins. And so I think this is an amazing choice for the Tower card. The artwork is nice. That red is popping, by the way. So for a deck that's a little fairly muted in the colors, I really like how popping the red is on this one and on the Devil card. That might be one of the reasons I like them, is I love red, as I'm sure you can tell. Excuse me. But also I love that it's just so vibrant on the deck. I love bright colors. I'm not a big fan of muted colors or subtlety. Okay, so the next one is the Star, and I love it because this is at the end of the movie where Lydia has gotten the good grade on, I think, the math test, and so she gets to do the floaty dance with the ghosts. So this is amazing. And again, face not super accurate, so I'm going to go with my theory that they couldn't use very accurate faces because of something with the actors' contracts in the film rights. But anyway, very good. You can tell who she is. Like, the face thing is just, again, me being a Virgo. And I don't really like the art style of the faces. I'm going to be honest. Like, I am really fussy about face art style. So I'm going to bring it in a little bit closer. Like, that's just not an art style I enjoy. So it's not just the accuracy mismatch, because I do understand that. It's also just that I don't like that art style. But yeah, so what a fun reference, and what a perfect card for the Star. Like, I think that's a very good choice. A very good choice for the movie tie-in. Okay, next up we have the Moon card, and this, of course, is when Lydia takes the snapshot of the couple when they are dressed up as spooky ghosts in the sheets, and she sees them, but she doesn't think that it's them. She actually thinks it's her dad and stepmom, like, messing around, whatever. And so she's like being all like, you know, and she takes the Polaroids of them, and then she looks at it and she's like, oh my gosh, like, they're actually ghosts, you know, and it kind of blows her little mind. She wasn't expecting that. So I really like this for the Moon card. I think that's super, super fun. And it's the unexpected reveal, right? So I really, really like this one thematically. It has no red in it, so I don't love it artistically. All right, the next one is the Sun. This is an interesting choice. So if you recall in the movie, Mr. Deeds has retired, but he still wants to impress his former boss, and he's trying to get him to come out and do a real estate deal. And the draw is that the ex-boss's wife loves the spiritual. So they get them out on this kind of premise that they're going to show them the ghosts of the house. And so this is the wife of the former boss. Is it a good choice for the Sun? I guess it's good enough, right? Like, is it the closest choice for the movie tie-in? Probably. Okay, next we have Judgment. And I think he was also in the waiting room. Was he the guy that shrank the shrunken-headed guy? Maybe. And I kind of like that because, you know, passing judgment on the trespassers and shrinking the head, and that's the Judgment card. I'm kind of into it. Like, I kind of get it. And I do like this art style. I think since I really like the painted skull faces as like a thing. We'll talk about this later, but I love that. And so I think that that's part of why I really like this so much. And it, you know, pulls away from the fact that faces in this deck are super weird. But I love a good painted skull face, and so I really am digging this card, and I do think it's a good tie-in with Judgment. All right, this is the World, and I'm trying to remember exactly what this is. Is it on the way into the waiting room? Is it on the way out of the waiting room? Is it the infinite doors inside the waiting room space in the spiritual realm? Like, I'm not remembering exactly, so if you guys remember, can you please comment down below? I really did watch the movie, like, again, a week or two ago for Halloween, and so I'm kind of, like, embarrassed that I don't recall the exact perfect scene. But again, this is a first look at the deck, so I did not look at the cards and then go look it up and be able to tell you exactly what it is. And since my memory is imperfect, I would love for you guys to tell me, what is this? I know it has something to do with that kind of space in the spirit realm. All right, that's it for the major arcana. So before I dive into the minor arcana, let's go ahead and take a look at the guidebook really quick, because I think some of you might be more interested in the guidebook than in the minor arcana. And even for that, I think I'm just going to flip through it and pull out some cards to show, because this is how much of the deck we have left. I don't know if I have that much voice left. So I think I might pick out some cards. So let's pivot and look at the guide really quick. All right, so again, it's with the green stripy theme, with the sandworm, and with, I think those are cockroaches. I don't think they're spiders. I don't like cockroaches. And then on the back, oh, I can't look. It's more sandworm and more of those bugs. So, it's not like a book. It's like one of these guys. So I have to admit, from a first glance perspective, the guidebook is somehow both overwhelming and underwhelming at the same time. I would have preferred a book, but let's open it up and see if there's a reason they did this, because I don't love this kind of a thing. I don't know if it's because I have small hands and small T-Rex arms, but this is not good for me. I don't like it at all. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. I feel like that's supposed to, okay, that one was stuck. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, you get it, right? Like, there's a picture of all the major, sorry, I'm not trying to show you my armpits. Don't get too excited. There's a picture of each of the major arcana cards, and then on the back, no pictures and just descriptions of the minor arcana. Let me find something positive to say. The font is not too small to read. It seems fairly thorough. All right. On here, they have this introduction. I'm going to read it to you really quick. Introduction, with more of those bugs that I'm just going to say they're beetles. They're not cockroaches. They're just beetles. And it's with the Beetlejuice theme. Introduction. Welcome to the afterlife. All stripes welcome here. Get it? Stripes. In your hands, you've got your very own handbook, but it's not for the recently deceased. It's for anyone curious about expanding their horizons with the world of tarot. Okay, I like that as a little introduction to the guidebook. I think that is super cute and very on brand. Love that for us. I do wish that they had made this a book and that they had done more of a tie-in with the handbook on the cover, because with that introduction, that would have been a perfect opportunity to be like a handbook for the recently tarot or something like that. Some sort of like tie-in with, you know, bringing the movie and the deck together would have been kind of cute. And especially since they do that in the introduction, I feel like there was a really missed opportunity on the guidebook to do that. And also do not like this big fold out map style thing when there's no reason for it. It's just normal information. So they really could have done that with like a page. Is this more space efficient to do it this way? I don't know, but aesthetically and functionally, that is not my jam. So I'm going to give the guidebook a 2 out of 10 because it exists. Like, it's there, but yeah, I think I would not want to keep opening this every time I use it. And I do like to look at the guidebook. I know that I was saying that I had to be told that people really value the guidebook. I think I just take them for granted, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think I am just not the biggest fan of the guidebook. And so for the box, I think the box itself is like a 10 out of 10. I'd love it if it was actually something even sturdier than thick cardboard, but I think that's a lot to ask for the price point. And you're going to ask me what the price point is, and I don't know, but I will put it down in the video information because I don't recall how much it cost. And I do think that obviously getting an even sturdier box would have made it even more expensive. So overall, I think I'm really enjoying the box and the deck. And so I would give it overall maybe a 9 out of 10. I think they could have done a little bit of a better job with like the face artwork. But other than that, I really like it. I love the cards. I love how thick they are without being unbendy. Like, I just don't like it when I get a deck and the cards don't bend at all. They need to have a little bit of give. And then hand size, like I have fairly small hands, and this deck is a good size for a tarot deck. It's not too big. I have some that are just oversized for my hands and they're just unwieldy and hard to do anything with and frankly kind of painful. I think this is like just about the right size for a tarot deck for my hands, right? And then in terms of card slippiness, I think the cards aren't quite as slippy as I like. Like I like it when the cards just like really leap out, and I think that requires just a little more slip to the card. But they're also not super grabby like the, I think it's the pure black one where they just have that little bit of texture that makes the cards kind of grab onto each other. These aren't like that at all. So I think it's like a decent amount of slip. If I was giving it a Goldilocks rating, I would say it's not quite just right, but it's very, very close to just right on the slippiness too. So great size, great hand feel, great slippiness, great bendiness. So yeah, overall I'm giving this whole deck box situation a 9 out of 10. We'll do the guidebook separately because I think you can still enjoy this deck without dealing with that, but that is a 2 out of 10. Just gonna leave it at that. So if you're interested in staying for the rest of it, where we're gonna go through the minor arcana, feel free to stay. But it's not going to hurt my feelings if you drop off now, even though it will hurt my YouTube watch time. But that's how much I love you guys. Hurt my YouTube watch time. That's fine. I just wanted to let you get to the good part. But if you want to stick around, now it's time. Okay, so we have entered into the Suit of Wands. And the King of Wands is that effing beetle roach that I'm saying I just don't like. Here he is. He's the King of Wands. And then the stepmother is the Queen of Wands. And even though I'm not loving the faces and I'm not loving the lack of accuracy. Okay, I don't know what am I doing. There we go. I like her. Like, I think they did a good job with her face specifically. I'm loving, they captured the angularity. I don't think they captured the batshit crazy, but I think that would be really hard to do. I think that's a lot to ask. So for a Queen of Wands, that's really good. The Knight of Wands is the sandworm, which I think is a really good choice as well. You guys know I'm loving that sandworm. Okay, Wands is good. I know I'm saying I'll just pick out my favorite cards, but so far there hasn't been anything I haven't wanted to show you in Wands, obviously. So the Page of Wands is that lady, the blue lady who's been cut in half. I effing love her. In the waiting room, I think she is just, you know, captures a lot of our imagination. And then the Ace of Wands is the stepmom again. Not loving that one in terms of the face. I actually feel like the other one did a better job with her. And then here we are with, making sure I didn't skip one. Yeah, so she was the ace. And so then Lydia is the Two of Wands, and she's got the handbook. And that's actually this is the better rendering of her face, or the best rendering of her face so far that I've seen in this deck. That one is way more accurate and actually looks a lot like Winona Ryder. So enjoying that one. All right, and then the Three of Wands is their number that they drew in the waiting room. Four of Wands is them dancing at the end of the movie. This is her holding the head. That's the Five of Wands. It's good. And then this is Alec Baldwin's character trying to read the handbook for the recently deceased. Okay, rewatching the movie, it's actually really funny how confused they are by the handbook for the recently deceased. Like, they spend so much time, deceased, not diseased. They spend so much time talking about how they don't understand it. And I don't know why that cracks me up so much, but yep, there he is. And then this is the crane we were talking about earlier that was moving the sculptures in. And in fact, you can see it. I think that in the movie, from a scale perspective, the sculpture was bigger than that, but I could be remembering wrong. I don't know, but there we go. And then this is Beetlejuice when he is being the snake and he's scaring Mr. Dietz, the dad. And this is Alec Baldwin's character when he draws the door on the wall. So they've done the incantation and he's drawing the door on the wall so they can enter into the spirit realm. I don't think it should be that hard for a spirit to enter the spirit realm, but I also feel like that's another conversation. But anyway, okay. And then this, is that Otto's foot? Did he climb into or out of the house at one point? That's ringing a bell. Okay. All right, now we're into Cups. King of Cups, Alec Baldwin's character. Yeah, fitting, you know, fitting. I'd buy that. And then not a good representation of her hair or face, but decent for Queen of Cups. Okay, the Knight of Cups being Beetlejuice and Lydia at the forced wedding is actually hilarious to me. I don't know why, but yes, that's very funny. And then these are the dead football players. Hilarious. This is Lydia on her little bicycle in her skirt, which I just feel so bad whenever I see girls in movies riding bicycles with skirts. And I assume it might happen in real life, but why? Just why? Change your clothes. You know, that's not comfortable. All right, and then the stepmom holding his head as a sculpture, did that happen? I don't know. And then this is the dinner party where the shrimps attack their faces. So, okay. Is that this? Yeah, the smoking person who died in bed? I think so, from the waiting room with their handbook. Very cute. We're still in cups, by the way. I didn't mention that, but I know you can see that. And then, what the hell are they looking at? I don't know. I don't know what they're looking at. Is that some deer? Are they looking at a picture? I don't know. And then this is when he goes to the hardware store and the little old man's talking to him as he runs in, and he keeps talking as he's in the hardware store, and he runs out, and the little old man's still talking and telling him the story. Super cute. This is after they have passed by falling into the water in their chariot in their tower moment. So they're back at the house soaking wet, do not yet know they're dead. This is obviously after they've tried to change their faces, and then they're comforting Lydia because she's freaked out about, I think, the Beetlejuice thing. Anyway, and Alec can't change his nose back, and it's comic relief. Very funny. Mr. Dietz reading some papers as the Nine of Cups. I don't know. I guess I'm showing you all of them. That is one I would have skipped, the Mr. Dietz one. Or I guess that was the 11 of Cups, my bad. I was reading these. Don't ask. I feel like something's out of order. Okay, anyway. So this is the 10 of Cups, and it's them doing a little smooch. King of Swords. I am assuming that's Mr. Dietz again. This is one of the worst faces in terms of accuracy. Yes, and then the Queen of Swords is the stepmom again. That's a good expression. The one glove, that's a good card. And then the Knight of Swords is Beetlejuice himself when he's in his spiky mode. That one was actually really funny. I think he even does his little dance while he's spiky and he's going into the like little model strip club thing. Hilarious. Okay, Page of Swords. That is the ex-boss that I was talking about earlier. Ace. Okay, yeah, Ace of Swords. These one. I confused myself. This is when he's working on the model of the town, which I loved. I want to build a model of a town in my attic that I don't have. I do have an attic. Okay, and this is the Two of Swords, and you can see Lydia's trying to get in with the key. This is when she first realizes they're there in the attic, I think. I don't know. And then it's Three of Swords, Lydia being pale and tragic. And then Four of Swords, she falls asleep. What is this? Five of Swords. What does that say? I am done. Oh, this is Lydia writing her fake schmoomicide note, which she obviously does not go through on. Nope, it does not. And this is that. I think this is where they're about to walk. No, they've entered the spirit realm and whatever. Going to the waiting room. This is the Seven of Swords, and is that Otto if they changed his clothes? I don't know. It's when some of the spooky stuff was happening with Otto. And then this is Beetlejuice is the snakes. So fun. And then this is the Sandworm's realm. So the door that goes into that, is it Venus? I don't even know. But the world that the Sandworm is on. Super cute. This is Lydia in her veil, being all sad and depressed again. And this, oh, now we're into the King of Pentacles. Okay, this is perfect. So this is the ex-boss as the King of Pentacles, which is totally fitting because he is the dude with all of the earthly wealth rewards, right? But boy, does he look spooky with that facial expression, that green light. So, and he's got a little red, pocket square there, which I'm enjoying, a little pop of red. But yeah, oh my gosh, does he look spooky there? I quite like that. And then I think that's another rendering of his wife as the Queen of Pentacles. And then Miss, what was her name? Miss Argentina. Yeah, Little Miss cut in half. She is the Knight of Pentacles, which I'm not sure I get, but okay. And then this is one of their dinner party guests. She was super insufferable. And I think she might have been the one with the shrimp to the face as the Page of Pentacles. And then I'm not going to say his name 3 times because I'm not taking any risks, but the Ace of Pentacles is our good friend here. 2 of Pentacles is also him with the car that he crashes in the model, which is hilarious. This movie was a good mix of humor and other stuff. 3 of Pentacles, Otto and the stepmother. What's her name? And then this is the... Yes, with the realtor at the beginning of the movie. So the wife and the realtor wants to sell their house because they are not having kids, which is really effed up. Watching the movie again, I'm like, okay, the realtor was way in their business about this kid thing and then pressuring them to sell their house because it was too big because they can't have kids. Like, that's messed up. And nothing bad happens to the realtor. That's a big miss on the movie's part. All right, and then we've got the 5 of Pentacles, and this is Beetlejuice's gravestone, where they have to like dig him out. Love that, super cute. 6 of Pentacles, cash register, fitting. The wife, okay, don't be triggered by this. Should I have done a trigger warning? She's just pretending that that's a thing that she did. This is part of when she's trying to scare the family out of the house, so she did not really do that. She's already dead. All right, this is the 8 of Pentacles, and it's when they're consulting with their spirit guide lady after they've died, and she's given them what for. She tells them, I enjoy her, by the way. She definitely tells them. All right, we are at 9 of Pentacles. Sorry. And, oh, it's when he's got the Zagnut bar. I don't know why. I love that part of the movie. I think that's so funny. I don't even know what a Zagnut bar is, but I really wanted one. And then 10 of Pentacles, and this is the hardware store where they run in to get the thing, and then they're driving back. Okay, so we made it through the Minor Arcana. We made it through the whole deck. I thought that was going to take longer than it did. So thank you for staying with me if you made it so far. I will be doing another one very soon. I'm going to go through some Halloween decks, including this one, because again, this was a new release, and I have at least one more that was a new release, or at least new to me, but I'm going to give you a sneak peek. So in the next video, we are going to be looking at the Halloween weight, and you can see that it is very holographic and shiny. So I'm going to be very careful with my lighting in the next video. So again, I'm Gabby from the Mystic Sisters. Thanks for watching with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.